Today, I'll be discussing the practical applications of AI in the telecoms and ICT industry. Although I've not been in the telecoms industry for a while, but syempre updated pa rin tayo on the innovations there and yung mga case studies on AI. All right. So today we'll be discussing a lot of things actually. So we'll give an overview of what AI, ano ba yung nangyayari now, right, about AI. So how is it used in different use cases, also different industries, not only the telecommunications. But let's focus, for this talk, we're gonna focus on how you can use it for the telco industry. So we'll also discuss generative AI, no? So if you're familiar with ChatGPT or Claude, so these are like chatbots that you can actually talk to, then answer your questions, right? Or maybe brainstorm with it. So we'll also go through some case studies sa telco, which I was actually able to research on. Makita natin on how these companies are using AI to improve customer service, for example, or improve their processes. Then, of course, practical applications. Then the available technologies. So I think the first part will be a bit, I don't know, a bit boring. Pero pagdating natin doon sa gitna, I'm gonna show you different technologies that we can actually use to create AI-enabled applications or maybe AI-native applications. So we also have LLMs, no, yung mga ChatGPT, the models behind it. Then Vision AI. This is very interesting. So we'll tackle this later and makita natin how we can use AI to actually understand images, right? Then Voice AI, which I think ito yung parang recently, this was actually blowing up because before when you have like how do you call it, yung AI kasi, di ba, you have to translate from speech to text and text to speech before you can answer a customer. Let's say you plug it in into your customer service as an agent, di ba? So it's totally different. So I'll discuss that later. Then of course we have like a conclusion, maybe like a takeaway later. So what this Google recently, I think a day ago, they released a AI assistant that actually can understand your screen share. So basically, ang ginagawa ko dito sa video is I'm asking this AI studio about helping out on accessing a website, right? So ito yung parang, this is like what I mentioned earlier, that it's like a multimodal way of interacting with AI. So right now, it understands the video, which is a bunch of images. Tapos he's guiding me to actually go through the website. So this is an example of what AI can do right now. So which later on, we can break this down into like several topics, then I'll explain it in a way. All right. So these are the quotes from different leaders from different big companies sa tech. So Bill Gates said na there's a lot of potential to change the world. Kasi it has the power to create new ideas, products, and services. So if you relate it to the telco space, so the possibilities are already endless. Kasi with like AI code generation, all the like ideation can also be used using AI. So parang yun magche-change talaga yung mundo, right? Then Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google or Alphabet now, so he said artificial intelligence will have a more profound impact on humanity than fire, electricity, and internet. I think this is a very strong statement because ang sinasabi niya is it's not just another technology. It's gonna be like prevalent to everyday life, like what fire, electricity, and internet is. So internet, I think it was the last big thing that happened, and now this is happening, right? This AI, evolution, right? So then Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, he said, AI can free us from tedious tasks, allowing us to focus on our creativity and innovation. So meaning that all the tasks that we do that can be automated, right, pwede na gawin sa AI. So that's one very nice application also of what AI can contribute to our lives and to our work. Right? Then Jensen Huang is if you're into gaming, right? He's the CEO of NVIDIA, those who produces our GPU cards, right? Our video cards, right? That you use for gaming or, for AI as well. So he said that everybody in the world is now a programmer. So ang sinasabi niya is, even if you're not very technically, trained or, experienced, pwede ka na gumawa ng code, like application. So I'll show that later in the presentation. So how is that possible? So papakita ko later on how you can do that with the existing AI tools. This is not something that we have to wait for, right? This is something that is already there, right? Nagagamitin na lang natin. All right. So let's go to the next. So basically, all industries now are undergoing, transformation. So driven by, like what Liber is saying, like machine learning. It started with machine learning. Then now it's like into another level, which is called AI, right? So makita natin how it's gonna revolutionize, how it's gonna be applied to the telco industry. And of course, like ICT in general. So before we go into that, so why does AI matter now? So it's transformative in a way kasi it's gonna improve our efficiency and decision making. Before, when I need to make a decision, right? Let's say in a team, I need to talk my peers, right? I need to talk to my bosses, right? I need to talk to the other stakeholders, like other teams. Let's say if you're working in a network, like kasi, for example, you're a network engineer, no? So to create an applications, you need to talk to your application engineer, right? To make decisions. So ganun yung way of uh, making decisions before AI or before machine learning. So now, even now, I can use ChatGPT or maybe I can use like, AI analysis tools, right? To make decisions based on data. So that's how it's gonna change us. So generative AI is also enabling, enterprise adoption. So moving beyond pilot projects. What does this mean? So meaning hindi na siya yung mga toy projects, no? Like, like I create like create a summary out of a text. It goes beyond that, right? Although creating summary out of text actually has different use cases in the telco industry. So pero ang sinasabi dito sa statement na to is it's gonna be like wide already. So big companies are already adopting it. So companies that build strong data capabilities uh, and involve diverse stakeholders to avoid pitfalls and maximize AI's potential. So kailangan mag-build yung company with strong, strong AI team, strong technology within the company for them to thrive, right, in this, revolution, right? Okay. So of course, AI is a technology, and technology actually contributes to our economy, right? So first, it gives jobs, then it also creates more products. More products means more sales for companies, means more money for the economy, right? So economy is also like contributes to us because we live in a country economy. When the economy of a country is good, right? Of course, let's say the money, the exchange rate is actually high, right? So I'm speaking because I'm a OFW here in Singapore, right? Medyo malapit sa ano ko yung like if the economy of the Philippines is actually being stronger. So I'm happy with that as well. So anyway, McKinsey estimates that generative AI will add between 2.6 to 4.4 trillion in annual value to the economy. So it means this is the actual, creation of, wealth para dun sa economy. Ganun. So AI is pushing the window a decade earlier than with generative AI pushing that window a decade earlier than previous estimates. So meaning, no, parang yung estimates niya is yung earlier siya, no, na umabot sa ganong ganong amount. So Goldman Sachs predicts 7% increase in global GDP attributable to generative AI. So in short, AI will help our economy not just by automating processes, but at the long run, yung in the higher level, magko-contribute siya sa betterment of the economy natin. I mean, in general, not only Philippines, also globally. So what is the impact of generative AI? No? So I think I was listening to Liber earlier, right? So merong question na like will AI takes our job? Will AI take our job? No? So I think we don't have to worry kasi AI is just a tool. So actually it will create, new opportunities for us, right? So it will create new job roles and reduce like entry barriers. Let's say for example, I'm a programmer. So before I became a programmer, I had to go through like a lot of training and a lot of experience before I can get into a senior role. So medyo ngayon it's changing because with all these tools, right, you can actually maybe the 20 years I have, we could actually do it like maybe in a few years only yung mga na experience ko. So it's very interesting na this is happening. Then also increased automation, no? Itong increased automation is, for example, there are tasks like, like for example, sentiment analysis lang, like sa customer. You want to understand how the customer actually feels about your company. So pwede may automate yung, sentiment analysis. Like I go through like a million customers and I understand ano ba yung sentiment ng customer. Is it like positive in general or negative or is it neutral? So this is only one use case of automating stuff. So you don't have to have someone to go into the data and actually create dashboards for you and for you to understand all this information. Ano ba yung makukuha ko to make a decision based on the data. So data democratization. So AI makes data accessible to more employees and of course, yung mga customers in general, di ba? So it's not just employees. So data democratization means that, data can actually be available for all. Right? Then shift in skills demand. So before, I just know how to, let's say, code in Java. So mag-alter na yan kasi when I use AI, I'm expected to also be able to do Python, for example, or other technologies. So mag-shift yung roles, right, in terms of technology. If you're a technologist, let's say you're a product manager also, right? If you're a product manager of a telco, product. So it will also change your way of thinking, make you more productive. So mag-shift yung skills into something like, you need to be able to use AI, right? So I already discussed, but these are some data that we can actually look at. So in Accenture analysis determined that 40% of working hours across industries could be automated. So meaning 40% of the working hours of the people, pwedeng you can replace it with AI. Then McKinsey projects that activities that currently take up 60 to 70% of worker time could be automated with AI. So if you see here that this 60 to 70% savings of worker time can actually be shifted to another, higher value role. So shift in skills demand. So as generative AI automates certain tasks, demand for specific skills will change. So ito yung sinasabi ko earlier. I think I've gone through this in the previous slide. So to save time, let's skip on the next topic. So what are the challenges of the telecommunications or any in a company? So first, since AI is still new, I think still new in a sense that it blew up like 2 years ago when ChatGPT was launched, right? So the scarcity of AI professionals, right? So this is actually applicable for you guys, right? Because you're going to this course and learning about AI, and this is a good opportunity for you to understand, no, what is the future, right? I need to learn AI so I can be, enabled and be able to work as a person who knows AI tools and use it for productivity. Then data management issues. I think for those who are data engineers here or people who work with data, maybe your network data coming from your, let's say, your cell sites, right? You want to understand all those, right? But sometimes the production of data or the collection of data is not very organized. So if you have lots of data, but often it's fragmented. So the challenge is to be able to use AI on top of your data, like create analysis out of it. You need to actually structure your data in a way that it's something that AI can actually analyze. Kasi if it's too unstructured, hindi rin ma-analyze ng maayos. Pero recently, when OpenAI and all these Anthropic APIs, we realized that even unstructured data you can already feed into AI. So I think this statement is kind of like AI is already doing something about it, but of course it will still be best if your data is structured. So high cost and budget constraints. So implementing AI, you need a budget for this because AI is not free. So you need to run AI into like big, like GPUs, right? You need GPUs to process the number crunching that is needed by AI. So this is why if you're familiar with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, they also need like a lot of processing. That's why they're using like big GPUs as well. So this is the same for AI. So mahal yung GPU. Even renting a GPU would cost you, I think, maybe around 50 cents US dollar per hour. The cheapest, the lowest end GPU. So medyo mahal yun, like 50 cents per hour. So in one day, how much it would cost you? That's 50 cents times 24 if you're running it 24/7. So merong mga cost constraints rin yung AI, which I think companies should also look into. So integration with legacy systems, so we can, since we want to use AI, let's say for automation, we need to integrate it to a legacy system. Let's say a billing system, right? Or a telemetry system. So we need to integrate it. So preparing that old system to integrate with AI also is a challenge, right? You need to have a team to do the applications that will integrate. You need to create an API, for example, to integrate it with legacies, with AI. So ensuring data privacy and security. This one is very important. I think this uh, one of the most important challenge that AI is encountering now is the data privacy. Let's say I send my data to, ChatGPT, right? Like my personal information. We don't know what OpenAI or whatever AI provider is doing with that data, right? If I accidentally put in my birthday and my name, if they save it in their database then and use it to train the data, then it's something that is a concern for customers especially, right? Kasi if I'm sharing my information, like say I call a telco, then I complain, then they shared my information to some other company. So medyo it's parang privacy breach, which I think a very valid concern, especially for sensitive information. Let's say yung na-leak yung before, like yung na-leak yung information like by a government agency, I think medyo hindi maganda yan kasi it actually, you know, yung information mo is pwede magamit nung iba for maybe not a good way. Or maybe fish or scam you, ganon. So we don't want that also when you're using AI. So we have to be careful with this. Then balancing automation with human expertise. So I think this is still a challenge because uh, ano ba yung gagawin ko automated, right? Ano yung gagawin ko as a human, right? Or is it like a hybrid, no? How do I balance this, right? Is it like 20% I do it with AI, then 100% is ano pa rin yung human. So why is this important? Kasi for example, right, AA produces you I'm sure you guys have used ChatGPT. Sometimes nag-hallucinate, right? It hallucinates, right? It means that it's not giving you true information, right? Hindi totoo, right? So ang challenge is, you know, if you automate everything, you trust AI and gives you information that is not true, then especially if the AI is actually integrated with customer facing, applications like a chatbot, right? So pag mali information, let's say I ask, how much is an iPhone? It will say like it's 80,000 pesos, pero yung business is actually just selling it for 60,000. No, so parang there's a discrepancy there. So you have to balance that. When do I use AI? When do I use like humans? Not use humans in a way. It's more of like how if you're gonna make it a human in the loop 100% or just partially. So what are the case studies at Telecom? So this one I think is a year study I got from MIT review. So it actually gave me a few insights on how they're using. There's also like some website that gave some information about it. So, South Korea Telecoms or SK Telecom, the leading telco in South Korea. I think medyo malapit sa puso natin. Like if you're watching K-drama, sino nag-watch K-drama dito? Or K-pop, no? So, South Korea, uh, the most popular telco is, it implemented Claude AI to improve, telco-specific Q&A about technical documentation. So meaning na they ingested their technical documentation, tapos they use it for maybe internally or maybe externally also, no? No, if I ask questions, then I can get answers quickly. So, especially technical telco documentations are very minsan mahirap intindihin yung technical concepts. Deutsche Telekom, right? So Deutsche Telekom has employed Claude AI within its Ask Magenta chatbot. So ito yung mga, it was, these are, chatbots answering customers' questions. So they integrated Anthropic Cloud and Meta Llama models. Meta Llama models are actually open source. You can actually use it. And if you have, capacity for GPU, so you can use these models to run your AI workloads. So they use these models, these intelligent models, to enhance the chatbot's ability to resolve billing and service issues, then handle customer data and provide a more empathetic and context-aware interaction, right? So itong context-aware meaning, right? For example, I'm complaining about, my billing, no? So I complain, I called the telco, you overcharged me, you know, uh, let's say 5,000 pesos last month. So if the AI is not context aware, it will just say something, just a general answer. Pero if you feed in information na like an AP, let's say data from your database na it's, the history of the charges, then AI can also answer, in a, very more, how do you call it, accurate way. So it also helped Deutsche Telekom develop a multilingual platform tailored to the specific needs of its customers through the Global AI Telco Alliance. Yan. To Telecom Argentina, so they used Vertex AI and BigQuery, right, for their AI. So they have like a big data, then they build predictive models that improve customer service operations. Yan. Vodafone. So ito no, this is makita nyo the applications are normally chatbots right now, pero this is just a start. Pero unlike chatbots before, medyo na may information, it's already there's information already from the telco. So like what I mentioned earlier, yung billing, there's already context. So Vodafone implemented this chatbot to answer questions of customers, right? So you see here in the the example, I'm going on holiday to France for 6 days. How much will that cost? Yun. So you see, sabi niya, to use your Voxy plan in France for 6 days, you can purchase a European roaming pass for 10, is this pounds? So meron na siyang context, right? How much the roaming fees are by that telco. Then TELUS, then TELUS integrated OpenAI's ChatGPT into its sales workflows to enhance email communication. So ito different use case, no? They're using it for like, communicating. So meaning that, like for sales, to answer customers, they go through OpenAI, then they use it to, generate or maybe edit an email like that. All right. So all these telcos, they realized, at least for those that are actually member of this telco alliance, they realized that I cannot do this alone, right? I need some support from different telcos also from different countries, because they have different geographical locations, so different din yung experiences, right? Like how when I apply in Korea, when I apply in Philippines, the behavior of the user is actually different, right, from other countries. So maybe it's cultural or economic reasons. Then, pero the Telco Alliance, what I think they're trying to achieve is to actually get, have a venture with all these companies and learn from each other. So another is global reach, no? So expanding their telco services also to a vast international customer base. Let's say they created probably an AI solution in like Singtel. Or Singtel, I think Globe is also partly owned by Singtel. So the what's this the experiences of Singtel that they learned from Deutsche Telekom, for example, or South Korea Telecom, right? They can apply it to Globe. So ganon. So parang there's a synergy between all these companies. So we might see more alliances in the future, which is actually pretty good for the industry. All right. So practical applications of AI in telecoms. So how do we use AI in telecoms? This one is not specific, so at least you get an idea, no? If you're working in a telco or maybe working in ICT, how do I use AI? So ano ba yung possibilities? So let's go through like this five big areas which is very ginagamit ng AI. Let's say customer service, right? Automating customer interactions. So like what I've said earlier na if I, for example, I inquire like the one video I sent earlier, right? I inquired about, how much is an iPhone, like that, right? Pwede automate na yun. So you don't have to have a human in the loop for those use case. Then you can also personalize customer service. So meaning yung customer service mo, you know who I am, right? You know what my behavior is. Let's say I purchase roaming every month because I travel, right? I travel every month because of work. So pwede mo i-personalize yung customer service mo sa akin using AI. Let's say you can offer me a promo or a discount every month, right? So ganon magche-change yung ano no, yung customer service. Then of course, learning from support tickets, then intelligence scripts for agents. Let's say my wife is working in a bank. So ang ginagawa nila is meron silang system na parang I mean in general, no, itong mga call centers, right? They have a system na meron na silang guidance, no, from AI what to say based on the history of the chat, the history of yung conversation nung kunwari nag-complain, 'di ba? Ganun. So alam na nila, right? What is the previous conversation, ganun. All right. So security. So detecting security threats, right? Or account takeover prevention. So you can use AI to analyze all this data, itong mga how do you call it? Itong mga uh, let's say meron kang data ng, let's say, logging in from the website, right? So you can analyze that using AI and create, analysis. No, parang, if this guy is logging in every minute, logging out, logging in every minute, then you can actually automate that part, right? Then data analysis also. So you can also analyze unstructured data. Then you could also auto-generate reports for your stakeholders like your CEO or your marketing or your product officers, right? Then you can also aggregate all those key metrics. So medyo the work here uh, it's not so tough anymore because of all these AI technologies. So for marketing naman, personalized marketing and ad targeting precision. So meaning, for example, the one I mentioned earlier, the use case of I'm always traveling. So you can target me. You can target me with a roaming ad, right? So pwede na i-automate yun with AI. I haven't looked at the questions, so but let's see. Kung may questions kayo, just send the questions. I don't see the chat. Anyway, pwede natin i-ano later. All right. So what are the practical applications naman sa ICT in general? So I'll be more general here, which is very interesting kasi at least you can also see how learning, for example, can change, right? or maybe software development. So there's a new way, new approach to learning when because of AI. So since you have ChatGPT, all these AI tools, your learning can be personalized, right? And instant knowledge access, meaning before ChatGPT, we're not able to answer our questions quickly. No, so we have to go through Google. I have to research. Let's say I'm a software engineer. If there's an issue, I go to Stack Overflow or different forums to try to answer my question, right? So ngayon, when you use ChatGPT, you can actually ask it anything. Now they also implemented web search. No, so if you're asking a question about a recent event or a recent uh, product or maybe a process na you want to research on, so it already has that real time knowledge. Not real time in a sense, real time, but more of like if you're able to Google it and it's already there, then you'll be able to get answers from that. So medyo powerful to. Because before ChatGPT, when it doesn't know, let's say you ask, who is the current president of the Philippines? It will probably answer you the previous president because it doesn't know it doesn't have recent information. Then multimodal. So what does multimodal mean? So you can actually ingest images or PDFs or even talk to AI. No, so different modes na siya. So it's not just text, right? Then scalable. So since AI is you can democratize AI in a way, right? For example, you run like open source models. You can also make it scalable for education. Let's say in the rural area. Ito, I always give this example. In the rural area, let's say walang internet yung mga bata, right? So if you have like a grade school or a high school there that don't have internet, there are also models that you can run locally without even using internet, like Llama. No, you just have to set up a computer dun sa rural schools para at least they have access to AI. Because I believe, right, AI should also benefit those that are disadvantaged, right? Those that don't have access to internet, right? So there's already like ways to do that. So imagine those people studying there, those kids studying there that are don't have like that resources. Imagine you can actually deliver, help them learn more, learn faster, right? Using AI. Then gamification, like you can make your learning interactive like that. If you use Duolingo to learn a language, something like that, right? You like go through journeys, quests. Then like this is like my quest for today. I answer this, then I get so many points, something like that, right? So those are the things that will change. Okay. Ito very malapit, very close to my heart because I'm a software developer. In the software development space, since we are also closer to AI in a way, there's already a lot of innovation. So medyo it's already sometimes you're also overwhelming now. What code tools do I use? Right? Code generation tools do I use? Before I used to uh, Google, I go to Stack Overflow. If I find the answer there, I try to get that answer and put it into my app, right, to fix my issue. Now it's different. So I use ChatGPT and AI IDEs, right, to generate code. Of course, you have to understand the code when it's generating, pero what I'm saying is the tools are already there. So how does it help software development? So first is yung code completion and review. So first, yung code completion, what does code completion mean? It means that let's say when I'm creating a function and I'm not familiar, let's say with the library, right? So pwede na i-autocomplete ng AI. So it's possible now to create something that you don't understand. Pretty scary, but it's pretty cool also. But of course, you always can understand it later. That's the beauty of it. Pero the fact that it gives you like a proposed solution, that's very powerful in a way. I mean, in terms of software development. So performance optimization, no? So analyze your code, suggest improvements, how does my code look, like that. Yeah. I was even joking with my colleague. Sabi ko, mas magaling pa tong AI sa akin eh. So parang, because it's trained with, very vast amount of data of the entire internet, even best practices it has actually trained on. Then, the learnings that it has, right? It's more competent by like, maybe not just 1,000 times developer, something like that. Content management. So, ito medyo like more on the, how do you call it, repositories of information, right? You can deliver your information in a personalized way. Then you can also moderate. Let's say, for example, itong content moderation, you can also think about it. There's some, because right now the students are actually using ChatGPT to create their like their like their, let's say, book review or thesis or whatever, no. So parang yung mga teachers, hold on, right? Don't use AI completely for all these tools. So content moderation in a way also can actually be applied there because you can also try to ask an application to, see is this AI or not, right? Parang ganon. So you can moderate. So that's one way of moderating, right? You can say, this one is like, 100% AI. I don't know how accurate those tools are, but those are things that are being done in the academic sector right now. Tapos, automated categorization. So yung like for example, you have like a bunch of information, then you want to categorize it into different let's say areas like or categories. So you can use AI to do that. Let's say let's say if you have a bunch of like literary information, let's say this is if you want to detect if it's a poem or a story or whatever, right? You can also do that. Right? In the telco space, you can also see is this customer information? Is this billing information, right? Or is this a network information, right? Telemetry information. So pwede mo nang gawin 'yun. Intelligent search, ito yung parang isa sa mga popular use cases of AI is you can actually personalize the search, right? So I think Google and Facebook is already doing this. That if I'm searching something if I'm searching, it actually, there's like an autocomplete pag nagta-type ka na. So that in a way, in the behind the scenes is actually AI at work. So e-learning. So yan, so meron mga automated assessment. Let's say you have a exam for like 1,000 students. So pwede mo nang i-assess, let's say yung essays, no, you can actually do a one level, one pass of grading. Tapos the teacher will still decide on, this is the score that final score I will give. AI gives this score, then the teacher will give, the final score, something like that. So yun yung parang, I think right now that is possible. Then analytics also, right? I think this one, a few points are also covered. Accessibility features. So let's tackle this a bit because accessibility is one of the most important part of, applications. So meaning if you're blind, right? If you're deaf, right? Or if you're mute, di ba? So we need to have the applications also accessible to them, right? So for example, I think I saw some success stories that a blind person can actually do coding. So so parang that's like it's really amazing because imagine hindi siya nakakakita then is able to actually do some code because of accessibility features. Yeah. Or maybe not blind, sorry about that. I think it was uh, mute. So meaning nakakapag-type lang siya. Ganon. So yun. Sorry, not blind kasi I think I made a mistake, sorry. So mute siguro because I think it's not possible to actually code without seeing anything in the screen. So maybe some simple coding pero yung very deep coding, I think it's still very difficult for now. So multimedia and digital content, I think I saw a question earlier, no, like yung image generation or video generation. So that's already possible now. So I'm gonna show you a few tools later how how you can use all these image generation tools and video. Then image restoration and upscaling. So these are, previously you need to go to someone, he bring up Photoshop and create, restoration. So now kaya nang gawin ng AI. So you don't really have to do that. All right. Music generation. So imagine music, no? Nag-generate na ng AI, right? Of course, it's like that, not like music that being generated by, I don't know. The popular one is what? Apato, right? By Blackpink, Rose, right? So nakakapag-generate na ng music. They have this tool called Sono, right? They're able to generate music out of prompts, no? You just explain what you want in the music. Then of course design and art creation, then script and story writing, which is very easy now in ChatGPT. So even though there's a lot of benefits, there's a lot of potential, right? AI also has its own limitations. So the technical limitations, computational constraints. So this means that you need like hardware to actually run AI, right? So it's not like it's gonna just run in your computer. You need to have strong machines to actually run AI. Itong second is a big problem, inaccuracies and hallucinations. So last night I was actually searching for I was asking what is the price of this AI tool, and it gave me the wrong information. I was using I think Perplexity, right? And I was like I don't think this is correct. So I checked in Google and see that it was really not correct. So imagine you're searching something important. Uh, let's say you're searching for some information. Let's say I'm searching for my child's secondary school. I don't want information that you know that will go into that answer that is not correct. So hallucinations, they call it hallucinations kasi parang nababaliw yung AI, right? He's spitting out, you know, inaccurate information, no? Then limited knowledge update. So meaning the knowledge of AI is just to a certain point when that model is actually trained on. Let's say the model was trained on like last year, November. So hanggang doon lang yung information that you can ask AI. You can ask beyond that. It will just say, if you say what happened today, December 14, 2024, he will say, I don't have information about that because I'm not, I didn't learn that information, that recent one. Pero this one is already augmented by the web search. So linagyan nila ng web search para at least if the if the model don't know the answer, you will ask you will Google the web, then it will actually give you information, summarize information from the web. All right. So reasoning, may mga models that are actually reasoning. Ito yung, I think partly, this is part of your AGI. I think I saw a question earlier. Yung reasoning, kasi yung mga humans still actually reason, they have like reasoning. Meron tayong skills na, based on our preferences, based on our experiences, I answer a question in a certain way. But we have our own biases also like that. So if AGI is something like it's like a human person. So that's still a challenge right now. I don't think we are there yet because when you say AGI, it's more of like you can replace someone, right, in a way. Ethical and social concerns, right? So bias and stereotyping. So meaning I think there was a study before that na parang they run through I'm not sure if it was Netflix, parang they run through the candidates, right? They have it in their HR system. So they asked AI to evaluate. So there were like, I think racial preferences of the AI, which is not so good. So that's bias and stereotyping. So that's not good if you're dealing with customers or you want an application that actually caters to all, right? So imagine nakabitan mo yung HR system mo ng ng AI and it has this bias, then it's unfair, right? It's unfair for those who are actually in the disadvantaged, sector. So privacy risks. So yun nga, I mentioned earlier that, if you send your data to some AI tool, you don't know what is happening there. So that has to be addressed as well. So maybe it's government policy, or maybe like companies do something with that. But normally it's government policy that will tell, like this personal data protection. I think we have something like that also in the Philippines na, you cannot screenshot. I think ito medyo uso ngayon, di ba? May nag-screenshot nung phone, yung chat. I think in the privacy law of the Philippines, that is not allowed. So that's illegal basically. So yun. So then lack of transparency also, like ito related sa data privacy, I take your data, I'm not transparent that I'm using this for what, right? I'm using this for teaching my model, right? Something like that. So operational challenges, lack of data, and uh, let's say yung energy consumption, like how do you call this? Yung kasi siyempre you use a lot of GPUs. So you consume a lot of electricity, right? So parang it's not sustainable in a way, right? So we will have like, mag-a-affect yon kasi to produce electricity, you need to produce oil, something like that, right? So this is something that has to be addressed. So dapat like the computation resources, right, should actually use like very little, or as much as possible, the lowest possible energy it can consume, right? Then implementation barriers. So ito like more on, I think, it's either physical or, like, systems, limitations. So what are the available technologies? So ito yung medyo interesting part. So we have AI technologies like LLMs, vision AI, voice AI na available right now. So generative text, so this is like ChatGPT. So used for generating text, right? And answering questions. So language models, the large language models are massive AI systems trained on enormous amounts of data that can understand, generate, and manipulate human language. So ito na yung ChatGPT, nakakasagot ng questions, right? Nakakapag-brainstorm ka. So that is the power of large language models, or LLMs in short. So how does an LLM work? So LLMs, when a customer asks a question, for example, let's say, why is my internet slow today? So basically, AI thinks and checks, right? So analyzes the question. Then using its own knowledge, like the trained knowledge that it has, it will, answer the question. So it can also take information from live systems or network status, right? Like say service history. Then also the knowledge base of telco, right? So nakakakuha siya ng information doon, then gagamitin niya yung information to answer your query. Basically, that's how LLM works in a high-level way. So how do you use LLMs? So first, you can use LLMs for automating your customer service and support. So pwedeng you can also let it analyze your documents and analyze it. Then market research and trend analysis. Then report and content generation. Tapos in the technical side, development side, you can also ask, can you explain my code? Okay? Or you can you generate code for me, or you help me fix an issue, right? And it also create API documentation for you or your applications documentation. Then your system architecture suggestions. No? For example, I was like playing around last night. I want to create a system that generates code. Then I ask it, how do I do that? Right? How do I do that? I asked ChatGPT, paano ko gagawin yun? Right? So it gives you a nice architecture of how, an idea of how I can implement that. Right? Then analysis and intelligence, data analysis, then pattern recognition. For example, like anomaly detection, like for example, you want to analyze a certain pattern of a behavior of a customer. You want to analyze if this is like anomaly. Let's say I'm spending $500 for my telco plan. Maybe that's too much, right? Maybe $100 or 5,000 pesos, right? For my telco plan. Then suddenly my usage became 20,000 pesos. So you can ask AI, right? This is the data of the customer. There's an anomaly, right? Meron like not so normal behavior that happened. Then you can ask AI to know if there's an anomalous behavior, try to analyze it and give me an information or give me an alert, right? That this is happening. So at least maybe the customer can be informed na your let's say your usage reaches this point. Maybe you didn't turn off your roaming data, something like that, right? So parang more proactive yung pwede mangyari with AI. Then sentiment analysis and trend identification. So trend, this one is similar to the anomaly detection. So this is trend, right? For example, so many users have bought like iPhone 15. Tapos, of course, you need to address that in the supply chain, di ba? So kailangan mo like you need to get prepare the supply for the demand, ganun. Then productivity. So I think this is one of the powers of AI right now, yung how to use it to be productive. So use AI to say I want to create a plan, right? I use AI to do that. Sometimes I also use AI to maybe create like a recipe, for example. No, so maraming uses of AI. So for telco, for example, maybe you can plan out a project. Let's say in 4 weeks, I want to finish this project. Then what are the steps that I can do? Something like that. So the recommended models are ChatGPT uh, and Claude AI. These are the most intelligent right now. And for example, if you want open source, it's Llama, the open source one. You can use that as well. For APIs, since we want to integrate it to our applications, we need to use APIs. You cannot use ChatGPT to automate your stuff because you cannot call ChatGPT to answer a question. So OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, has an API that you can call. So you can use it to, let's say, in your billing system or your application, you can communicate with chat this OpenAI API. Then counterpart of Claude is Anthropic. So this is how the OpenAI API platform looks like. So you have your tweetings on the right. So let's say you have in the right, there's like a model, the response format, model configuration, temperature, like, do you want to be like more creative or not? Pag sinabi mong zero, that's very creative. So that actually gives you more probability of hallucination, right? So normally you use temperature one for accurate, don't hallucinate, don't creative like that. Mm. Then you have your maximum tokens. Tokens means that yung data that you feed into the AI and going it the tokens that it receives. So you can also play around here. You can similar to ChatGPT. I have a video of this in YouTube if you want to go through like how to use this. Uh, so you can play around with this in their console. Then you have also the same counterpart Anthropic naman. Okay. I prepared so I don't have to do a live demo. I try to do this in my offline. So I asked Claude AI, one of the this is similar also to ChatGPT. I asked Claude AI to analyze telco customer churn, right? Meaning yung like pag yung hindi na nag-subscribe sa iyo ganun. And yung mga nagsa-subscribe. So what I did is using the multimodal capability of Claude, I sent it a CSV file of data points. So may data ako ng mga customer information na nakuha ko, right? So he said, I'll help analyze the telecom customer churn data and create some visualizations. So in the right, if you can see, nakagawa na siya ng graph, no? Based on the data set. You can see that The churn categories are, like competitor-related issues are the dominant reason for churn. So, meaning na umaalis kasi may kalaban na telco, maybe, I don't know, offering a different plan, for example, a cheaper plan, Then attitude-related issues, right? Then dissatisfaction with the service, right? So I'm not happy with the service anymore, So kasi minsan, right, you transfer to another provider or a telco kasi you're not happy. But sometimes it's because it's cheaper here, right? So ganon. So if you see the power of AI, it's actually able to create graphs, right? To understand your data. So this one you can use in Claude, or maybe you can do it in an automated way. You can send this automatically, like you have from your database, you feed it into the AI, then it will create dashboards for your stakeholders, for example. Let's say your sales team, right? Or your marketing team. So in internet service types is let's say fiber optic, no? Most common service type, right? Then DSL. So makita nyo, no, na nakuha niya yung information from the data. Contract types, no? So month to month, 1 year or 2 years. So this is very, very powerful information for the decision makers. So yan, so there's customer tenure charges, right? Average tenure is approximately 19 months, no? Meaning na nagstay siya for that period. So yan, so may mga recommendations din siya, no? So he created a graph, then he has recommendations, right? So you need to improve your customer service training to address attitude-related churn. Then focus on competitive differentiation, since competitor-related issues are the primary churn reason. Consider introducing incentives for long-term contracts. So, no, parang if you go 2 years, you get, a free month, for example. Then investigate why fiber optic are churning despite it being the most popular service. So maybe your fiber optic is not so good, right? Yeah. So ito yung mga example ng uh, yung example ni Claude, no, how he understands, right? How AI understands and gives you, a graph and a recommendation. So may mga LMM approaches tayo na called RAG, and so meaning itong RAG, it's actually, if I'll just show you the simple diagram. So based on RAG is basically just feeding in your company documents or your internal knowledge base, and you ask AI to answer based on that, right? So it's not web search; it's like information from your own domain. Yeah. So pwede mo i-feed sa AI. So there are some frameworks that do that, like Verba, Langchain. Verba is more like end user can upload my documents, then that's it. I can do it. I just gonna bit faster because nag-run out ako. Let's see. So agents are flows. Yung, for example, you want to create a different tasks or different workflow. So you can create agents also out of it, right? So pwedeng like there's, I think I have an example here. Let's say I have two roles, which is a content gathering specialist and a thread formatter, right? So una, yung content gathering, what he will do is he will scrape the data from the internet. Then the thread formatter will create the thread in Twitter, for example. So, meron siyang mga tasks na kailangan niya gawin to actually produce that agentic flow. Agents basically means that you can represent, real people with agents, something like that. I'll not show the demo anymore. So let's go to image and video generation. There are also tools that uh, you can use to generate images like DALL-E. You can use ChatGPT for that. Ideogram. Ideogram, this is my favorite because Ideogram can create images with actual text, accurate text. Yung mga ibang AI, they cannot do good text. So, ganon. So, use Ideogram if you want to have like, let's say this image is generated using AI, a bunch of servers, then you have like a title which is practical applications in ICT. So, finid ko yun, sabi ko, you put this text. There's also Midjourney, Leonardo AI, and Grok Flux. Then video generation, I'm gonna show this video. This one is totally generated with Minimax Hailuo. Yeah. So you just prompt it and it will create a video. So wala na tayo dun sa like images lang. So meron na siyang video generation na rin. There's also nice technologies like Kling AI that can also do the same thing, or Sora. So software development, meron tayong AI code generation IDEs like Bolt, Cursor AI, Windsurf. These are IDEs that you can use. You know, pwede na siya mag-create ng app by just prompting. Replit Agent, Vercel, V0, and Warp. Right? Those AI, if you want terminal, like telco, no? Nag-login ka sa server, right? You need like terminal. This is a good terminal to use also, which is AI enabled. So I'll just show a quick, gawin natin quick, medyo 2 minutes lang. Pakita ko sa inyo yung code generation nito. So you just prompt, tapos it's gonna create a, yung app, nakapag-create na siya ng, yung Bolt, nakapag-create siya ng app, di ba? Using prompting sa left side. So imagine that's how AI is right now. So vision AI. So ito magandang topic, right? What is vision AI? It's computer vision. So basically based on images you can understand, the images using AI. So you don't need to have a human to, explain the image for you. So this is just the flow, you input an image, then it's trying to understand the image, then it gives you an answer. So pwede ka rin magtanong, right? What is the image about, right? What does the image contain? Something like that. The recommended models is Landing AI and OpenAI. They have Vision AI in OpenAI too. So what are the use cases of Vision AI? First is, let's say, device recognition for 5G rollout. So the technician points the smart device camera at the 5G equipment. So using AI, the system auto-identifies the hardware so the technicians can perform the installation properly. The meaning na meron siyang camera tapos sabi niya, oh, ito yung cell site. No, you tell me what to do, or maybe analyze what I need to do. Network infrastructure inspection. So it's also capable of, like, say you have a drone, no, equipped with cameras. So pwede siya mag-take ng picture or video ng cell tower, then it can analyze the visual data to detect damage. No, for example, meron, let's say yung telco, yung fiber, yung let's say copper mo na anda sa may electricity na nakakabit no, yung mga poste, no, nakita mo may putol or something, parang ganun, or yung poste may damage, ganun. So you can actually use visual AI for that, yung vision AI na tinatawag. Then job verification, right? If you're in manufacturing, you can also, have taken your system taking pictures of your images, tapos ma-understand niya may defect ba to or what, right? So for quality control din. So yan, let's say for example ito, no, yung meron siyang example, no, nakaka-detect siya, no, nung part nung tower, 'di ba? So this is an example, a layman example wherein I used Vision AI to actually detect objects, right? So parang ano ko to yung this is my my desk. So basically, pinapakita ko lang dito is, Vision AI is actually be able to identify and even put borders, right? Yung ina-annotate niya yung i-picture, no? So ito yung window, ito yung laptop, ito yung keyboard, ito yung desk, right? So nakakaintindi siya ng images. So that's one of the powers of AI. So voice AI naman, so conversational voice AI, this is what I'm telling earlier na, you can let you replace frontliners with, AI para makasagot ng questions using using audio, right? So for example, you call a call center, tapos meron merong sasagot na AI, tapos it will answer your queries based on your questions. Dati IVR, di ba? Yung parang sasagot sa'yo. Pero you need to go, pipindot ka pa, then until you go through that link. End of the day, you will still need to talk to the agent, right? The customer service agent. Pero ito, no, it can be automated by AI na. So, technologies that you can use is 11 Labs and Open AI Real-Time. So, itong two technologies na to, you don't really have to. Kasi when you call the call center, right? So, siyempre, voice yung medium mo, di ba? Voice. Tapos yung voice na yun, it has to be translated to text, di ba? Para ma-analyze mo yung data, right? Tapos, siyempre, pag analyze mo, sasagot yung AI, you need to transform that text again to voice para makasagot niya ng boses, di ba? So, you have to do that flow. Pero these technologies right now, like the OpenAI real-time and conversational AI agents, meron na siyang built-in na, real-time na automatic na gagawin niya yun. Though you don't have to do speech to text, text to speech, it's already automatic. It can answer you real-time. If you're using ChatGPT, you can talk to ChatGPT like a person already, then it will answer you real-time. You don't have to wait. No? So ito yung dashboard ng AI agent, so you can also upload your information here, your knowledge base like that. So para masagot no voice agent mo. So this is the real-time dashboard. So same as the playground na pinakita ko earlier, then you can try to change the voice also. You can also sorry. Yeah, so you can change the voice. So sa O11 Labs, you can also train your voice. Let's say you want Melvin to answer your your customers, right? So what I did, I trained my voice. I use the voice in the agent, and it's answering me in my own voice. So imagine you can also train it. That's like fine tuning the AI. So may demo ako. I'm not sure if you can. Maybe I just let it go.
Hi there, I'm Melvin. How can I help you? I'm here to answer any questions you have and help you get the information you need. Can you help me with my issue? Of course, I'd love to help. To get started, can you tell me a little bit more about what's going on? What kind of issue are you having? The more information you can give me, the better I can understand your situation and help you find a solution. Oh, I can't access my internet, so I'm not sure if it's my Wi-Fi router or my fiber connection. Can you help with that? I understand. It can be frustrating when your internet goes down. To figure out if it's your Wi-Fi router or your fiber connection, let's try a few things. First, can you check if other devices in your home are...
Okay. So nadinig nyo, no? So yung sumasagot sa akin is 11 Labs conversational AI agent. So I just used his knowledge, yung existing knowledge niya to answer a question about my Wi-Fi connection. So at the end of the day, I think pinarestart niya sa akin yung computer, which is really funny, pero the possibilities are there, right? So makita nyo na how you can use AI to do real-time conversational AI agents. So what's next, no? So in the future, I think we will see networks that fix themselves and customer service that really understands, what people need. No? So AI will handle yung day-to-day tasks natin, as telecom workers, and you guys will focus on more exciting roles. So more on like high value work, hindi na yung like yung tedious, let's say pag-analyze, pag-prepare lang ng data, something like that. So magkakaroon ng higher value roles for us. So meaning yung AI will also help us do more how do you call it? You can contribute more to the business, right? In a higher value way. Then I think for companies, you need to build stronger AI teams. So to get better handling with their data and update the legacy systems, of course. Then, of course, keep the information safe, right? Data privacy. So, yung makakagawa nito, those who will get this right, will be the ones shaping the future of not only telecommunications, ICT in general, but you know, all the applications or all the industries that will be using AI. Yeah.